It's time for 3 tiers. Let's give 2 tiers to the Hawaii Warriors for losing to UNLV 34-33 last week. Now Hawaii is 2-1. They still have a winning record, but their schedule frightens me because they play at La Tech, against Fresno State, Boise State, Navy. They're probably going to lose all those games. They should have beat UNLV. They had 500 and something total yards of offense. They could only score 33 points. Their defense couldn't come up with anything big. And here, 3 tiers to USC. Aaron Corp, he really sucked in his first ever start. And the defense fell apart in that last drive. I don't know what was wrong with their defense. But congrats to Washington. So here are my week 4 predictions. We have Big Ten, Michigan State at Wisconsin. I really don't care about this game, so why am I even going to predict that game? Here is the big game of the week. Miami at Virginia Tech. Now Virginia Tech got very lucky against Nebraska, and I really didn't think Nebraska was very good to begin with. Miami, with Jacoby Harris, I think is really good. I like Miami at winning this game. Next up, Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Pittsburgh beat Navy last week. UNC, I only remember the 7-3 South Carolina game. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh beating UNC. Now it's number 24 Washington versus Stanford. I have no idea how Washington got into the top 24. I don't think they're deserving. They lost to LSU by a pretty big score. Not that big, but anyway, I am picking Stanford to upset Washington. Texas Tech at Houston. I said Texas Tech would have gotten routed by Texas, but they didn't. They made it pretty close. Houston, they beat Oklahoma State, and I think Houston would beat another Big 12 team. Big 12 is overrated this year. Sure is. Next up, TCU at Clemson. Here is my number 2 upset of this week. I like Clemson coming up with the victory. The ACC is an underrated conference, unlike the Big 12. Now, the number 1 team in the nation, Florida at Kentucky. This is going to be a close game. Take my word for it. I still think Florida will get lucky somehow and win, but it'll be close. Next up, Iowa at Penn State. Iowa screwed Penn State last year as they beat Penn State. Joe Pa has lost to Iowa 7 out of the last 8 times. Penn State is playing at home though, but they really haven't played anybody good. I am going with Penn State. It's going to be a close game. Next up, Notre Dame at Purdue. I have seen nothing of Purdue. Notre Dame has gotten lucky against Michigan State. I think I'm going to go with Notre Dame though, unfortunately. Next up, North Carolina at Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech got killed by Miami last week. North Carolina, I have no idea who they played. I don't think North Carolina is very good. So I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. And here it is, the Pac-10 matchup. This could pretty much determine who will win the Pac-10. I am going to go with the Ducks. Now, they were very bad against Boise, but I think the Ducks have a real good chance of winning the Pac-10. So those are my picks, and show your tiers to USC and Hawaii.